you had ever kissed me when I was younger, I'd have cut you. You know, I was trying to think on the plane ride here today, I was trying to think of what I would say, who I would acknowledge, how I would say it. You know, Rick Pitino, yes, he's a Hall of Famer, but he's a great teacher, which is what makes him a great Hall of Famer. Rick gave me a compliment, which I pass on to my wife, and he said, you know, I'm 70-something, you look like you're 60. Well, if I didn't coach these guys, I would look like I'm 20. Rick and I both have a friend, had a friend, and still have a friend by the name of Red Auerbach. Red Auerbach was my mentor. I remember the first time I ever met him, it was in the men's room. We were standing next to each other at the Basketball Hall of Fame. And he says to me, you know, Coach, you're doing a great job with that Ewing kid. He says, I think he's going to be a great player someday. And he said, you know, I may not always be right, but I've never been wrong. And when people tonight talk about the future and what's, not only the future, but what's happening now, and the fact that so many of you paid a lot of money to be here tonight, not only to honor our team, New York's team, a team that brought a tremendous amount of joy and pride to our city, to New York City, and to St. John's, but also to help make sure that the future under Rick's leadership is bright. What Rick didn't tell you is that he was the first college coach that actually offered me a real paying job. Of course, I think I knew what the reason was. If I brought Patrick Ewing, I could make a lot of money. Smart man, always was, always will be. I want to say a couple other things. I was told to keep it short. Follow the KISS principle. Keep it simple, keep it short. Red Auerbach also said one other thing that applied to this group of guys. He said to me, he said, Mike, when you recruit character, not characters. I didn't listen to him. And I know for damn well, I know Fran Fischella did not listen to Red Auerbach because he recruited guys who have character, but damn, what a bunch of characters. If the players, and I say that out of total respect because nobody realized what goes on behind the scenes, like Tyrone said. Nobody would know that my assistants probably broke up more fights in the locker room than any other coaching staff in college basketball. The most competitive guys you ever want to be around. They would fight like cats and dogs, or like my younger brother and I used to fight. But man, on the basketball court, they loved one another, they played for one another, and it was a joy to watch. It wasn't easy to coach, but it was a joy to watch. I am glad that my two announcers recognize and acknowledge our bench, our substitutes. We had guys on our team that would have played a lot more minutes at a lot of other places. But fortunately for us and unfortunately for them, they were playing behind Eric Barkley, Boosie Thornton, LeVar Pastel, Ron Artest, Tyrone Grant, Chudney Gray, just to name a few. But what a group. And When I first got the call about this event, I'm being honest with you, I really wasn't sure whether or not I was going to come. Characters with character. That's the name of the next book. Characters with character. But then, the biggest character of all, and if he just stayed healthy, we would have won, I think, that year the national championship. And I'm talking about Tyrone Grant. Tyrone said, Coach, if you don't come, we ain't going. My son then called me and said, Dad, you have to go. I said, Mike, you and Tyrone are telling me the same thing. It's probably wrong, but it gotta be right. I'll be there. And you probably wanna know, why would I not wanna come to this event? It's not you. It's like coaches as well as players have egos. And I'm saying, I don't know if I want to go back to New York, because there's liable to be a couple of people that might get up and boo me. And if I had my wife here, that wouldn't happen. And I also want to say to the guys that Mrs. J told me to tell you how much she loves you, how much she enjoyed cooking for you. I know you do. I miss her too. She don't cook for me that much anymore either. So I had a long list of people that I was going to recognize, but they've already been recognized, so I'm not going to recognize them again. I was told I only have 5 minutes, but just like when Ron hit that jump shot against Duke in the Garden, there were 3 minutes on the clock legally. We got probably 6. The timer, he's a St. John's guy. Ron might have taken 3 dribbles, looked at the clock, looked around, shot it up, went in, went to overtime. We didn't win the game, but I can't tell you, there's probably been 50,000 people that told me they were at that game. Many of them were not in Cameron when we went there next year and won, but I'm sure that most of the people in this room watched us beat Duke as well. So St. John's is back. You've got everything I think that you need to have in place: the right president, the right athletic director, just like I had with Ed Manetta. You've got great support staff. You've got great future talent and more to come. So I just want to say thank you on behalf of the team. These guys deserve every single bit of recognition, and it was long overdue, but it's here. Thank you guys, okay? Please, thank you. Come on. One last thing. Before we broke every huddle, what did Coach Jarvis say? We are! And what did you say? Let's do that again. We are!